So what would I do differently if I have to start over my TC business today? If I have to start over from zero, no clients, no referrals, no website, would I do it the same way? Definitely not even close. I've built a successful TC business. I train others to do the same. And today I share my experience with you because some of the choices I made in the beginning, well, they slow me down, they cost me money, and also they burn me out. So I want to make sure that you don't make the same mistakes. And this video is going to be for the TCs out there in the trenches, and also for the TCs that are just starting out. So here I think that I'm going to discuss about 10 things that I will do differently if I were launching my TC business today. So the first thing I can tell you is that I would start like a business owner, not like a freelancer. When I first started, I had the just say yes type of energy, okay? I took every file, every client, and every panic text at 10 p.m. So I was acting like a task rabbit and not like a business. What I should have done is slow down and act like a CEO from the start, even if I was the CEO of one. That means setting business hours and actually respecting them, defining my services clearly instead of adjusting them on the fly with every single, weird request that I receive from my clients. I will also be saying, here is higher work instead of how can I help you? A professional TC business isn't about doing everything. It's about delivering what you do best with consistency, with boundaries, and especially with systems. And of course, I would build my workflow first before I ever touch a file. My first file, well, total chaos. I was opening folders, trying to name documents, digging through email threads and wondering if I made a huge mistake or if I forget something. What I should have had was a default folder, templates with subfolders already created, a checklist that actually matched my process so I wouldn't miss deadlines, and a timeline that I could send to clients and use to keep track of the key milestones. An email template pack so I could, just use them instead of rewriting the same message for every single file. So today I have all these things, of course, and they are inside my coordination virtual playbook. But even if you're not part of my course, you can still build this out right now. Don't wait for perfection. That is one thing that I can tell you. You can start with your best guess and improve it with every single file. Because the thing is that your brain needs to be solving problems, not reinventing the wheel every single time. And what I mean is exactly what I was just saying about the email templates. If you're going to open a file, you're going to send intro emails. You shouldn't waste your energy into writing these emails every single time. You know what I'm saying? Also, I will totally say no to partial files and last minute fires, okay? When you're new, it feels like you have to say yes to everything, right? An agent sends you a file that it's been already under contract for the last 3 weeks, and now it's closing in a couple of days, but they have nothing done with compliance and they need to get paid, right? So you panic, but you say yes, and then you probably regret it. So here's the rule I wish I would enforce from the day one. No partials, no disasters, no can you clean up this mess for me type of project. Why? Because those aren't clients, those are liabilities, okay? If I were starting again, I will create a clear intake process. I only accept files within 48 hours of contract execution. That will be one of the, things that I put on my intake packet. And I will require signed TC agreement and completed intake form before I open a file. I would not accept backdated paperwork or urgent compliance files from non-clients especially. I want you to also hear me loud and clear. These type of business standards or rules, whatever you want to call them, doesn't make you difficult. It makes you professional. And clients, serious clients, respect the professionals they can trust to run a tight ship. So if this video has you rethinking how you're building your TC business, hit that like button so YouTube know this is content worth sharing. And if you want to grow a business that supports your life, no one that drains it, hit subscribe as well. I got more coming. Another thing that I will do totally different is I would stop charging just enough and start charging what it's worth, because let me be honest, my first few clients pay me way less than they should have. I charge based on fear. What if they say no? What if I lose the lead, right? But undercharging doesn't get you better clients. It actually gets you agents who ignore your processes, clients who expect you to be on call 24/7, totally, impossible, and income that barely covers your time, let alone taxes or growth. So if I were starting today, I will build a value-based pricing model. I will calculate my ideal monthly income, my capacity, how many files I can actually take, my cost, meaning how much I pay for software, insurance, taxes, whatever. And then I would reverse engineer a per file rate that actually supports a real business. And let me tell you a secret. The right clients respect those rates because they don't want a cheap TC. They want a reliable one. Also, I will totally learn how to attract clients without cold outreach. Here's where it gets juicy. No, I never cold call 100 agents. I've never sent mass DMs asking, hey, do you need a TC? Instead, I build my business on attraction. If I were starting again, I would start posting helpful tips that they can use on LinkedIn, inside real estate Facebook groups, Instagram, whatever. So instead of this hire me type of post, I will post tips. Things like, here's how to prevent last-minute compliance chaos, or 3 ways a TC help you scale without hiring a full-time assistant, or why I ask agents to use my intake form and how save them time. Another thing that I will do is I would stop trying to DIY everything and get support sooner. And that one hits hard because I wasted so much time trying to piece everything together from Google and Facebook groups, and it makes me second guess myself a lot. I felt behind, I felt overwhelmed. I kept comparing my business to people who were already 5 years ahead. So I would find support early, a course, a mentor, a coaching session, a community. Not because I couldn't figure it out on my own, but because I didn't need to, and neither do you. So if you have been around on my coordination virtual playbook page, or you are on the wait list, this is your sign. When the doors open, take the leap, because your business doesn't grow faster by staying stuck. It grows faster when you stop wasting time and get the blueprint. Another thing is I will require a TC agreement from the start, and I cannot stress this enough. If I could go back, I would never take a file without a signed TC agreement. When I first started, I thought I don't want to scare them off with contracts, right? But here is the truth. A TC agreement doesn't scare off good clients. It actually attracts them. Why? Well, because it shows that you are legit, that you are organized, that you are serious about protecting everyone involved in this, transaction, this agreement. Your agreement should spell out your scope of services, payment terms, cancellation policy, when files are accepted and when they are not, if that is something that you want to clarify as well. I think it's a good one. And that one document can save you from disputes, scope creep, unpaid work, and a whole lot of anxiety. Another thing is that I would hire help way before I thought I was ready. For way too long, I wore every single hat: PC, admin, marketer, bookkeeper, you name it. And here is what I learned. Waiting until you are drowning to hire help is like waiting to build the boat after the flood. If I were starting again, I will ask, what are the 2 or 3 things I absolutely hate doing? What are the lowest value tasks on my list? Can I hire a virtual assistant or tech-savvy teenager for a few hours a week? Even just 5 hours of help per week can free up your brain to focus on the CEO level work, client experience, strategy, and growth. So I will also delegate my marketing instead of just letting it die. Here's what most TCs do, and I was absolutely guilty too. They post once, they get crickets, they feel awkward, and quit marketing altogether. Then they wonder why clients aren't finding them. So if I could go back, I would build a simple plan, right? Like 1 tip post per week, 1 testimonial, 1 email or video every month, whatever, right? I will create that simple plan. And then I will hand it off. I would delegate content repurposing, captions and postings, whatever, right? Because marketing is not negotiable, but it doesn't have to be your full-time job. And trust me, consistency builds credibility, and credibility builds clients. And talking about marketing, what I will absolutely do differently is collect reviews and testimonials, because trust me, I was horrible at it and I missed so many chances to grow. So if you want to run your business like a business and avoid all the mistakes I made, make sure to grab my free TC Business checklist and watch this video right here.